Hello and good evening. A very warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Tonight you've been joined by myself, GB, and you've been joined by JM and The Bridge. JM, how are we doing?
Evening, GB. Evening, Bridge. Yeah, very good. Very happy bear tonight, mate. How about yourself?
Oh, mate, buzzing. I'm going to come into that. You'll probably be bored of me saying stuff tonight, mate, but over the moon. Bridgeman, the legend, how are you feeling, mate?
A big greeting to you guys and, of course, our techie team in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio, joint top of the league. Go on there, Jers.
Brilliant, Bridge. And that's it, JM. We welcome the show back to a Rangers victory. And what I say is we tick another box, JM. It ended up a very comfortable win, JM, and very satisfying that we have made it to the joint top of the league.
Yeah, 100%. It was, I mean, bar a couple of 5 minutes so I scored. It was comfortable around. It was probably one of our most complete performances at home. Over and very happy with that.
Bridge, before we dive into the actual game, and obviously we'll probably hear from the manager and his press conference and stuff like that, just want your overall feelings just now, Bridge. I mean, it's 4 months, I think, the manager's been in now, and I can't believe it, mate. I honestly can't believe that we've been able to turn this round so quickly. The way the squad was feeling with that motivation and stuff like that, how this man's came in, he's brought a good backroom team back into the fold, galvanised our captain, galvanised the team, and now, like I says, we stand tonight, we sit joint top of the league. How are you feeling?
Oh, for the manager, fabulous. The guy's done really, really well for us. There was a point in the game when they scored their goal, and they made us look stupid at times, for just for a couple of minutes, and we're running about like headless chickens at times. And then they got their goal, and see, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, before he came in, they were getting booed then. They were being roundly booed for that goal, and we were attempting to save it. But that's just the way it is. It's completely changed. The man's turned the whole thing round, and he's got the whole crowd behind him, and they all believe in him, and myself included. We all believe in him. He's going to take us places, okay, we might not have the same team and this coming August as we've got right now, because there might be some big changes taking place. But seriously, it's just fantastic. It is just utterly fantastic. The difference and the confidence we've got in that manager. Utterly disappointing. Marvellous stuff.
That's the thing, right? The man's just came in. He is only 4 months. Are we perfect? Is every position right on the money? No, definitely no for me. But are we winning games? Are we fighting for each other? Are we scoring goals again? Are we creating chances? I think last night there was something like 43 shots and 23 or something like that on target. You know what I mean? We were moaning, we're doing nothing like that. We're moaning, we weren't creating enough and all the rest of it. And then there's last night, we totally dominate that game. And granted, do we want more goals? Of course. But what I say is that we're starting to see things now that this manager's producing. The team's producing. They're all buying into this. And again, just want your current thoughts, mate, because I'm totally over the moon, especially when you look at these stats last night.
Yeah, I remember, I think you, myself, and Robert, and we had other callers on just at the end of the January transfer window, and even then when this manager's been in and showed what he could do, we went through how many players we were happy to continue with over the year. And if we're being completely honest, there wasn't many, but look at the tune this manager's getting out of what at times looked like an absolute bang average squad. And of course, like you said, it's not perfect. It's not great. Nothing's ever going to be. I think we're kidding ourselves on if we think it's going to be. You're always going to have injuries. Players aren't going to be on form all the time, whatever. But the consistency, the amount of wins this team's getting, it's been superb since the managers came in.
I think that's the thing, Bridge, isn't it? It's, at the end of the day, we are Glasgow Rangers. We do demand a lot, but there is a reality there that this manager's having to deal with a transfer market that is not going to be the perfect player. I mean, we're never going to probably, like JM says, we're never going to probably be the perfect team. No a single individual is always going to be on their game, just because, again, the transfer markets that we're shopping in these days. And again, for Cumont to be able to galvanise them, like I says, we've picked up one trophy already, still in another 3 competitions. And there last night, as it stands, that we've pulled that deficit right back to 0. I mean, it's as much as, like I says, we've loved that wee extra goal to go proper top of the table. I just think, like I says, it's an amazing achievement in such a short space of time, Bridge.
Yeah, 100%. I think you mentioned that a wee goal to get us right to the top of the league. Well, that's what a lot of most of us, if not all of us, wanted to see. And we somehow, between us all, and I'm talking to the boys in the park, between us all in the park there, we managed to sort of waste something like 20 odd chances. We just put those chances, we failed to put them in the net, Incredible stuff, it was the ball was booming in, and the goalkeeper was a star, outstanding star. And I was shouting earlier on, I wasn't surprised that there's a couple of teams, bigger teams than Ross County, would look at that goalkeeper and take a chance on him. Because he did everything as much as possible. And I think he's on loan from Fulham or something like that. But my goodness gracious, he made some great saves. And we were unfortunate.
Jim, I think that's the thing, isn't it? That goalkeeper last night for Ross County, he's definitely put himself in a shop window. And like I say, there will be probably clubs looking at that boy now, because he had to get, I think they're even manager, before we even go to the manager, he's mentioned that the guy had the game of his life last night. And I think you'll be able to tell us how it was. Something was said about the saves. Is that right, Jim? The boy's saves, how many saves he had?
Yeah, 19 saves he made, which I'm reading everywhere is a record in the SPL. However, 19 saves of 20. So when you think about it, that's incredible. And it was the game of his life. And fair play to the young boy. It's probably the biggest step off. I think I heard him say he's played a few games for Fulham first team, but depending on where he's played in that will be the biggest stage he's played on. A fair play to him, because he played really well.
Aye, it was a good performance. Right, I want to hear from the manager about last night and see what his thoughts are, and then we can dive in a wee bit about the game and see where we're sitting. So here is our manager, the wizard that is Philippe Clement.
Philippe, how did you see that one tonight?
I think for sure in my period, but I think all season it's our game with most shots on target. What stays the most important in football? 23, they told me. And I see a team growing week by week, month by month. Of course, you cannot become better game after game. There always can something happen that your opponents are also different. But we had wave after wave of attacks, good possession play, good runs together, good tempo, good shots. But we had a goalkeeper also on the other side, maybe at the evening of his life. And a few times luck also on his side. So it could have been much more today. But of course, as a manager, you need to be happy, although I'm not so fast happy, with a 3-1 victory. Because I cannot ask more of my players than what they are doing now. I think every supporter who was in the stadium today and was there 4 months ago, they would say, what a difference for all the players on the pitch. So this is the thing we need to do now and the next couple of months, to continue doing what we've been doing, and then we're going to take a lot of points, but it's about doing the hard work every day.
Can you quite believe it was only 3 goals, not just given the number of chances, but the quality of chances you created tonight as well?
Yeah, but I think our finishing was also not that bad. If you get 23 shots on goal, but it's about centimeters. We can do better in that way. We can still raise our level in that way to be more precise, but those are the next steps to take. I think the team already took a lot of steps. That's extra focus that's been there already the last few weeks or months, because it stays an important part of football. But you cannot ask much more of the players where they are now in the period you've been working together, I think.
I know you said you won't look at the league table after this game, but
everybody tells me, so I know. That's a little bit a pity.
How keen were you for the team to get that next goal? Because you were urging them to, after the third goal, to get back to the centre circle.
It's more about you feel the momentum, you make wave after wave attacks, you play good football, you create the chances, you feel it's the moment still to go to score the extra goal. And that's nothing to do with the ranking. It's something that I want in every game. There can be also games where at that moment you need to control the game and stop the game. It depends also how the game is, how the opponent is, what they are doing. So it's about doing the right things at the right moment. But I saw this hunger with the team also to score more.
There seemed to be some anxiety around the stadium at times tonight. The fans seem quite nervous with the situation in the league.
I think they are really happy with the situation in the league.
Sometimes they need to show a wee bit more patience.
Yeah, that's true. But I talked with about that with the team before the game. That's normal. That's being fan. Maybe we need to talk about that more also with the fans. It doesn't help. But our players need to be strong in that, to just keep focus on ourselves and not to become anxious. I didn't have the feeling also on the pitch that it happened today. But that's the danger, indeed. If you start to live the life of fans on the field, then you will not reach your goals. So we need to step out of that. And I'm really proud the way the players did that today, because they never became nervous. They only showed hunger and ambition for more and more and more.
Do you think the team are now in a strong position to go for the title?
It depends of how many points other teams take. So I'm with only one thing busy, and that's taking as much as points as possible. And if we are doing what we've been doing for 4 months, then all the rest, they need to compete really hard to be there also. And that's what we're going to do. I'm here, and I said it from the beginning, I'm somebody who wants to win prizes. We have already won. That's a good thing. And we are ambitious for more, and all this dressing room is ambitious for more. But at the end, the only thing that control is yourself and the points you take. So we need to keep focus on that. That's the only thing that's important. And not only in one competition, but in 3. And we're the only team in Scotland who's in 3 competitions. So that's also interesting to do that in a really good way.
Philippe, several Desters seemed to do it all in the first half, scored 2 at the woodwork, at a lot of shots. What do you make of his night overall?
I think a positive night for Cyril, but I cannot say about one player that it was not a positive night. So you know me already. For me, it's really difficult to take out individuals after a game, because I've seen a lot of quality on the pitch today. I think despite is not a good word. Only Jack is the only one who could not score today of my team. All the rest created chances. So that stays the most important thing. I said it from the beginning. A striker is for me much more than only scoring goals. They need to do also a lot of other things for the team, because like this, the team becomes better. And Cyril is doing those things, Fabio is doing those things, and then the goals will follow, because they will come in the positions, but all the rest of the team also. So I don't care if it's the striker who scored the goals or the midfielder or a defender.
Philippe, that's now 6 wins on the spin since the winter break. Do you feel a sense of momentum in the dressing room?
Oh, I feel a lot already before the winter break momentum. No, I get the question a few minutes ago. Is there now belief in the team? There's already a long time belief in the team. Otherwise, you cannot win all those games in a row. Otherwise, you cannot play the game like today they played. So, no, there's a lot of belief. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of hunger and desire. And the most important thing is there's a lot of collectivity, because you see, we didn't play with the same 11 as a few days ago, but you don't see a difference in what we are doing. You don't see a difference when players coming in. Everybody's doing their job for the team, and that's the way we need to do it until the end of the season. That's a really crucial one for me. And they all feel part of the story. They all had already their importance, all the team, all the squad this season, and we need to continue in that way.
Philippe, James Tavernier, another 3 assists for him tonight, to add to which quite a staggering tally for a right fullback. Again, a hugely important contribution from your captain.
Yeah, of course. And he could have scored also today with his quality. So, no, Tav is very important. Like Ritwan was for me also really good today. And Borna is also pushing in that way. Dujon was suspended today. So it's interesting the next couple of weeks. It's good I don't have too much hair anymore, because otherwise all the things I need to think about. So the team is putting pressure on me, and I like that.
Brilliant. Well back. Diane Bridge.
Yeah, no back.
Yes,
indeed.
He just reads the game so well, Jayam, doesn't he? Just the understanding of football and stuff like that just comes out so well in his press conferences, and a few things for us to take away as fans, I think, as well. We've got to kind of take heed a wee bit, and I think I even heard Stevie last night. We've got to give praise. We've got to back this team. I mean, to give a bit of perspective, Jayam, I had a wee nosy just that because this league seems a wee bit of Groundhog Day. I think reminds me of McLeish. And it reminds me of probably Smith's kind of last title win. So just for the 2 years, here's a wee bit of startle for the Port Bear kind of world. McLeish 02-03 title. 131, drawn 4, lost 3. And Celtic were 131, drawn 4, lost 3. 04-05. Ourselves 129, drawn 6, lost 3. Celtic 130, drawn 2, lost 6. And then Smith's 10-11 was us 130, drawn 3, lost 5. And Celtic was 129, drawn 5, lost 4. And the current table now, we're sitting 120, drawn 1, lost 4. And Celtic are 119, drawn 4, lost 2. Fine margins as it stands now, JM. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can tell the manager's more than aware of that, isn't he? He's so measured in everything he says after the game, and he knows even he said you'd like more goals or whatever, but he made it so clear, didn't he? It's just a matter of centimetres. That's all it is with the keeper saving. Some sitters, but also some good saves and different things. So fine margins, a long season, like you say. I think us as fans maybe just need be a little bit patient and realise we're going to bit anyone's hand off just to be within half the chance that we've got now.
Bridgeman, even look at that last start with Smith, losing 5 games. I mean, we lost five league games that season and still won the title. This is why, like I says, we've got to galvanise as a fan base. And like I says, we can critique the games and all the rest of it. There's nothing wrong with that, I think. But end of the day, see the wins. It's the wins that matter. It's what happens at the end of the season. If we're lifting that trophy, we'll be a happy fan base.
Well, I think we're in a tremendous position from a Rangers perspective. I still think that last night, because of the sheer amount of shots we had and chances we made and so on and so forth, we were very unlucky not to get an extra couple of goals there. And that would have just put a tin pat on it for us then, getting top of the league outright. But we're top of the league joint, so I think they've got 4 goals better than us, shall we say, scored more. Look, we, as a club now, we are miles away from where we were 10 years ago, right? 12 years ago, in fact. So I'm delighted, and I'm delighted the way this manager's doing his job. And I think it's resonating, shall we say, all throughout the club and the fan base. And it's just wonderful. And I think that we look forward now, and we can look forward with a lot of hope. And we've got to keep following. It's really, really important. We keep going to the games, to keep that stadium as full as possible. And that make a big difference to the players. Big difference.
Before we dive into the game, last night. Let's get these phone lines open because I'm desperate to hear from the Bears and see how they're all feeling about what is conquering that deficit. I mean, I just couldn't see it, but let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yep, that's it. Give us a call. Well, it says we're top of the league, we're challenging now. It all begins now. I heard the boys last night saying that exact same thing. This is when it all starts. This is when, like it says, we need to now push on. The end is in sight, so it's up to us to take our chance here. JM, let's talk about kind of last night. The enigma of Dessers. Big man again gets 2 goals. That first goal in the 5-minute mark. What a touch, eh?
What a touch. And I think, if anything, maybe if you want to do comparisons, and I'd have to see it again, but between Beale and Clement, it would be he had pretty much an identical chance to that against Aberdeen at home when we lost 3-0 in the first few minutes. And he just kicked it over the bar like someone who didn't know what he was doing. And then he got the identical chance. Clement, new manager, similar pass from Tav, just a nice composed finish over the keeper. It was a great finish and a great ball from Tav as well.
Bridge, did you enjoy that? Was that kind of the finish that you used to have on you?
Yes. No, I think you'll see that everything about it and the way he challenged the centre-backs, really managed to get the ball, get a wee bit, whatever control he could get on it, and beautiful. You don't see very many people actually chipping the goalkeeper, but that's what he did. He chipped the goalkeeper. And we as Rangers, used to get sort of roasted when someone chipped to our goalkeeper. And last night it was brilliant. It was great to see the lad scoring a goal and so early on, and then the crowd just lifted, and it was great, just fantastic. What an atmosphere it was! Great, electric atmosphere, brilliant.
I was one of his biggest critics. I have to put my hands up. Like I says, I did not see this guy scoring the goals that he's been scoring. The passes sometimes he's been putting in for, like I says, I think he gave McCausland his first goal with the pass that he played and stuff like that. Just shows you a manager, like I says, coaching, gain confidence back to him and stuff like that, and gain a wee bit of time for him to settle into the team. Am I saying that he's going to be probably the future number 1 striker at Rangers all the time? Maybe no, but I tell you something, he's holding up his end of the bargain now. He was brought in to score goals and the guy's doing it.
Yeah, he scored it. I think his next 25 minutes probably showed why he got a lot of stick over the start of the season, didn't it? His next 25 after the finish wasn't exactly great. But but he's doing, at the end of the day, as long as he keeps producing a goal or 2 a game, if he does that to the end of the season, we're not going to be far away, are we? He's just got to keep going up. Not got his stats to hand in that, but since Clement's came in a bit before, they're pretty impressive.
Aye, and like you says, mate, that kind of spell after the first goal, I thought, again, this is where we probably do need to get a wee bit better, is that if we've done this against Aberdeen as well, that as soon as that first goal goes in, we really need to get that second, don't we? Because it's so important. We have that total dominating aspect of the game, and I says you had Matondo, you had Dessers with his other 2 chances, probably easier chances, and who else was it? I think Lawrence had a shot and goal as well.
Yeah, and then we had near on 10 corners and stuff as well. Like there was loads of chances to make chances, wasn't there? I suppose the good thing was it wasn't like we scored and took our foot off the gas, did we? We still went for it. Mm-hmm. It was helpful ever. It was good. It wasn't like we got one and we were happy. They did go for it. We just, whether it be just a bit more composure or whatever, we just unfortunately couldn't find that second goal.
And Bridge, just on the kind of half-hour mark again, we get that wee kind of sucker punch that a goal out of nothing again. As a defender, Bridge, you're probably best to kind of talk us through this goal a wee bit. It's a goal that's been haunting us all season, and it's probably something, again, I don't think our manager will overlook it. I think he will be focusing on that once this European campaign kicks back off and a certain other team across the city start to play us again.
Well, sadly for me, because I'm a great fan of his, Mr. Goldson was caught out a number of times last night, but particularly that goal. And they couldn't get a tackle in because it was close to the box or in the box. Or he felt he just couldn't do it. I think he was found out for pace. The guy managed to get a half a yard on him and smash the ball across. And, you know, it just looked absolutely stupid. And the whole of the courtroom was shouting at him and the others running about him. How did that ball manage to get down so far, down past their fullbacks and their other centre half? It's just nonsense. You end up with Golson trying to play a fullback role and getting a wee tackle there. Not going to happen. So it's one of them was the disappointment there because we really let it happen. I take nothing away from Ross County. It was a stoning goal for them. Absolutely brilliant. And the guy did everything right. Shoved. In fact, they'd have had Golson's jersey, you know. But I don't think the referee had even seen it. Or anybody seen it, for that matter. It's really and truly, it's nothing but our own fault. We are now reaping what we sow. With this problem at 2 to 3 seasons ago, the same things were happening, particularly down our left back slot. Just not get anybody there that can stand out and be a really good defender. But I'm not wanting to go into it too much and out of that. But that's the way I feel about it.
But you make a good point. Like I says, there's improvement there, and like I says, the team's growing every week, and like I says, if the stats keep matching up with that, we like say us putting points on the board, and we keep putting pressure across the city, then JM, there's nothing to worry about. This wizard that we've got to know is fixing everything for us.
Yeah, maybe we just get, and also just over the last even year or two, we've still not had an opportunity for a real proper partnership to develop in the centre backs, have we? And the left back over, especially this season's been changing. So maybe as we go on, we might get a sort of more consistent partnership there that might help. But you know, I don't know if it's a good thing or not because we don't look like conceding any. But when a team does go up the pitch like they did there, they grabbed a goal. So I think the positive must be we don't really look like conceding, but just need to, you know, be what Rangers centre backs need to be and be aware at all times because it only takes that one sucker punch.
Were you happy, JM? Like I says that the kind of the character showing again though that it's not as if it was tools down after that goal went in. We group focused again, and again we dominated right up to the next goal, which again was Fidesser's at the round about it was 45 plus 4, I think it was. When he scores, so you're talking about the 49 minute mark, and he gets his probably an important goal going into that half timer.
Yeah, 100%. We see what it's like. The Aberdeen game, it becomes more difficult, well, not more difficult, more tense if it happens. But yeah, I thought it was impressive. Bridge mentioned it at the start of the show. There was that sort of, after the goal, a few minutes where Cazorla's up there keeping the ball and stringing passes together, and it's just natural. It's going to take us a few minutes to get back into the game. But once we got our foot on the ball, we showed a good attitude, and I think it shows because even right on half time, you know, just before we're going in, we took that quick free kick, got across and nipped the goal. But yeah, it makes everything a lot easier going in at 2-1 up, doesn't it, rather than one each.
Yeah, Bridget, that's the thing that I always felt that like when that kind of goal goes in, you're as a fan, just because we've maybe seen the movie too many times, you're a wee bit nervous. You're thinking, "Are we got to get back into this game?" But really, seeing you've seen the domination that we're having, it wasn't a surprise that we got a goal before half timer.
No, I think it was building up for it. It's just that the sort of, shall we say, every time we had a great shot and the keeper made a great save, I know we thought, oh, really exciting and so on, but at the same time, the disappointment continues and maybe squeeze extra steps and so on. So all of that going in, it was a very exciting night last night, and I thought the crowd were just fabulous towards the Rangers fans. Rangers fans were fabulous towards the players and manager. Just brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, all of it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Right, before we just jump into the second half, talk about the game, I just want to ask the techie team if they can do me a wee favour and put a wee poll up. I'm interested to see who they thought their man of the match was last night. So if they're able to fire that up, just a simple question, man of the match, and who we got to stick out, boys? Who we got to grab and put in the poll for the folk to vote on?
Oh, that is on the spot. I'm gonna put Tom Cantwell forward for mine.
Bridgeman, who you got to shout for?
No, I agree with Daniel. Definitely.
Right, two years.
We need four, Bridge. We need to pick another. We've got 11. We've got 13 players to use.
I really, truly, I thought Todd Cantwell was the best player in the park.
He wasn't.
You want me to pick someone else?
No, you can keep that choice, but we'll wait.
I'll go with a second. Then Bridge can have Cantwell. He can take the glory. I'm also going to go. I'm going to go for Captain James Tavernier.
Right, okay, and I'll put down for the poll. Put down Dessers as well, and then we'll see what kind of percentages come back in the 3. All right, we'll go for that. Just keep it nice and simple, and get a wee bit of interaction on the socials. Right, Jay, I'm into the second half again. They're just waiting for that third goal, aren't you? I noticed the change, obviously, Matondo and Cortez, the wee change up. Now, the two of them, for me, Matondo, again, he's got a different side to him.
Could have had a couple himself as well.
I think I do think it's good that the two of them are kind of different wingers, which could be again interesting coming into the European games. Maybe Matondo will be better running into big spaces and stuff like that. So it's good that we've got these choices, and I think Cortez can't even say his name right. Oscar came on and done very well.
Yeah, no, he to be fair, he had a hell of a start. I mean, the whole game, but then first sort of 5 minutes, he was a man on a mission, wasn't he? He was intercepting balls like you can only sort of intercept on FIFA, getting in the way of them and just running around. He was crazy and created a couple of chances. No, considering his first start was only a week ago last night against Aberdeen for sort of 15, 20 minutes, and he looked, someone settling in, and then he improved against there, and then I thought he looked even better last night. So if he keeps improving like that, we've got a hell of a player.
Bridge, how did you feel about the wee change? Were you surprised?
I was delightfully surprised. Let's put it that way. I think all the changes that the manager brought in, they made an impact with the crowd. Certainly around about me anyway. We were discussing, thought that was good. And yeah, it's smashing with breath of fresh air. The only one I must admit to you, the only one that people weren't greatly enamoured with, Scott Wright. They brought Scott Wright on. I think that made changes. It was disappointing. We think we get better players than that, to be honest. However, they may not be. Maybe they're all injured, so I don't know. But yeah, the changes make a big difference when you're starting to play the way you play, and they'll get very effective. Once you see the effect of them, it makes a big difference. Some of these players are brilliant. Some of these young lads that are brought in, superb players.
Bridge, I think he looks as though he's going to enjoy our league, isn't he? Because he's up for the physical battles. That bit where I think it was near the end of the second half, I was actually thinking the referee was going to blow for a foul because the two of them were fighting out in the corner for the ball. But the wee guy never gave up, and he got the ball away, and he was very unlucky not to square it, and for Silver to put the ball away at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah. Some of the boys, once the rest of the players get to the pace of the game in their mind as well as the physical side, it makes a big difference. You can see, you can read. But at the present moment, it's difficult to read these players and what they're going to do. Some lovely flicks, and some of the one-touch football, when we managed to get a high press on, we absolutely floored them. They didn't know what we were doing, and we had great shots or headers, and the goalkeeper would make a tremendous save, or a defender would blast the ball away. And that's what it was like. Very difficult for the fans. It's frustration, all the rest of it. But what? All these guys that came on, every player, can't say too much about them in the negative side. Brilliant performance by Rangers.
One player that just seemed to catch the attention for me all second half, and probably one of his best halves I've ever seen play, was Cantwell. Shots on target, the chasing down the ball, the running into the corner with the wee flick back, the linking up with Lawrence. I think we touched on that on Tuesday. I think that's a brilliant partnership. I really hope that Lawrence can stay fit, because the two of them together in that midfield is, I think it's dynamite. And he just seemed to be running, and probably for me deserved the kind of man of the match like you two were saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now, and obviously maybe last season there might be more games, but I thought in that position that's maybe the best I've seen him played at half. Unlucky not to get a goal or an assist. I mean, the keeper made a superb save. Well, one superb save and one really good save. The one where he hit it low down into the corner. I don't know how the keeper got there in them conditions because it's skinny. Like he done everything right, didn't he? Just used the ground, and you think that's going to roll in, and then somehow the keeper got there. Then he had that sort of, if you like, Ronaldo-style punch shot, didn't he? That was going sort of out nowhere into the top corner, and you thought, "Oh, that's going to head in." And I think on the replay, it looked more of a standard save, but the keeper still had to be there. And then, then he's linking up. I mean, he put Cortez on a plate as well, didn't he? Oscar, he put him on a plate as well, and he put it where Marie should have scored. So he was unlucky not to get his numbers up. And I thought it was a really good performance from Campbell, and he even managed to give the Ross County player a little dig at the end with the ball in the back of the head.
That's true. I like that. And they flung all the toys at the pram at that point, Bridge, as well. Where they weren't liking it. They weren't liking that wave after wave of attack. I mean, I say, us as fans, I mean, I know we're craving for 3, 4, 5 goals and all the rest of it, but I mean, that was just total dominance in that period, Bridge.
Well, I think you saw how dominant they were with the amount of, shall we say, wasted time by that team. Not the only team that does it. I think they all do it. But my God, that was just blatant. Right in front of the referee, walked past them with the ball in their hand and all that crap. No, really, really frustrating for the Rangers fans and the players. You're right. You're so dominant and you're playing really good stuff, and all of a sudden the arguments start. You're this, you're that. And shall we say, it can end up in fisticuffs quite easily because of the frustrations of everything that's happening. But I think we did well holding our temper because there was a couple of incidents that the referee, second worst referee I've seen at Ibrox ever, I guess.
What about Bridge? Obviously at the game and stuff like that, when the fans you're sitting there watching that, like the wave after wave of attack. He's struggling to sit down, because if it was me, I'd be up and down for that seat constantly with every move that we made, because the crisp passing, the understanding. I mean, actually, that boy Cortez is only in the door 2 minutes, and he's already, you can see, bringing a good understanding. And even Demande as well, when he came on as well, I thought he had quite a decent game as well, Bridge.
Cortez was going to be looks like he's going to be a really, really great asset for Rangers, and he's fearless, holds the ball very, very well, and he reads, like what we could see anyway. We were talking about last night. He seems to read the game quite well, and you find all of a sudden you find him cutting across the pitch. He sometimes pops up on the right, so kind of gauging where the space is and things like that. I think he's a really good player. Who was the other one you mentioned?
Diamande, the boy in midfield.
He's got a lot of quality. He's got. They're terrified of him when he came near them. Surprised he never got booted a couple of times. Or maybe he did, but I'm surprised he didn't. If he didn't, Good player, really good player. All of them, super players. I think the only one that was got to watch it is what's his name? Silva. Is it Silva?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got to watch it because he does. If they watch for him diving, making a meal of it. So you got to watch it for that.
Again, he'll pick up on that way. The run about the team. I think he's even said in interviews, JM into Silva, he's learning that the boys are explaining that he will get smashed in the Scottish League. So it's something Silva will just have to adjust to. It's something, in fact, I've noticed that Dessers is quite tuned into about the physical side of the game. He wasn't taking any nonsense after that Ross County side last night. I mean, especially for that first goal, as Bridge touched on earlier, he was totally muscled that boy out of the winning the ball, and that's his touch and finish. So I think Silva's just got to kind of pick up on that wee bit as well, Ajay.
Yeah, he'll learn as he goes on. He knows he's got to move it sharper because these boys are just looking to put little, they look like nothing maybe on the telly or thing, but every time they're having a little stand or the ankle or the Achilles or that, it's going to take its toll, and it only takes one to sort of catch him out. Yeah, Dessa seems to like it, but also I think Dessa keeps forgetting VAR's in play, doesn't he? Have you seen the moaning he does at the referees when nobody's even touching him? You have a little look at it and you go, "There's no." You see him in again in the highlights and that. You see him asking, and he's going, "Oh, hang on, are we going to get a claim here for a VAR penalty?" And you have a look and go, "He's tripped over his own legs." But he's just trying. I think it's the old school before VAR trying to get in the referee's head a little bit.
I think so. I think like I've seen. I mean, we see it against us. There's plenty of players in that referee's ear a lot of time moaning about certain things. I think even Aberdeen game, Shinnie was never out of the referee's ear. So, says we've got to do a wee bit of dark arts as well, Bridger.
Yeah, I believe it. I do like to call them dark arts, but yeah, I agree with you 100%. We've got to do it. I just feel their presence. Like I say, the two centre halves last night were very good going forward. When a sort of high press was on, they were really good. They were distributing the ball very well, no problems, and some lovely long balls as well. You know, my goodness gracious! As soon as the ball came back, there was a bit of panic in our ranks. That's what I worry about the centre halves because the look in their face, and obviously they're not the fastest centre halves in the whole world. So. Ross County gave us a bit of a doing sometimes.
And JM, we get to near the end of the game, thinking probably it's the goal's not going to come, just because of that goalkeeper having the game of his life. And then finally, like I say, one of the corners drop, and it's Big Suter kind of redeems himself a wee bit, I think, and puts the ball away for us and gets that third goal for us.
Yeah, obviously originally not a great ball in, but Tav got a second go at it, and then Suter got himself at the back post. Yeah, a bit of a mixture we had. I mean, I think it was ridiculous. It must have been around 20 or over 20 corners we had, wasn't it? I think there was a mixture. There were some really good balls in where, for whatever reason, our attackers weren't quite getting there, and then vice versa, not great balls. So just one of the nights where the corners weren't working, but we kept going at it and eventually got our reward.
But can I just ask you on the corners and the free kicks? Probably our best free kick taker is Tav by quite a distance. But he couldn't get his corners in right. So it must have been some misjudgment going on, maybe the weather, I'm not dead sure. Even free kicks, they never get past the wall. And that's disappointing to one of your guys that you're a top man. I ended up with 3 assists or something like that. It's fantastic. It's fantastic, you know. His win rate is just exceptional. But that when it's happening, you see someone like that and the boys know just coming right from, just as you said, amazing stuff. And with a high ball in there, and 99 times out of 100, they did it last night. They just clear the ball away. It goes past them, and sometimes that goalkeeper didn't know it. Probably couldn't see the ball right, you know. And he's laughing at it.
One of them, and obviously it's one of, I don't know if in golf if you say maybe his eye just wasn't in last night or something. It was a strange one, wasn't it? There wasn't a couple of free kicks. He had a free kick chance and hit the wall, but one of them nights, thankfully, is in open play. His assists were on the money.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Again, as we've touched on, boys, it's one of the areas again that will need improvement, and it probably will in time. Like I say, so I think the main thing is, and I think it's one of the questions that's came in for the social media side, is that have we, for the first time in years, got a team who are confident on the ball? And when you look at it, that's probably what Clement's had to fix first. He's had to bring confidence back into the team that can actually pass the ball to each other. I mean, I think last night we had about, according to stats, we had 600 passes. I mean, and most of them were making to our players. You know what I mean? And we've got to kind of get the groundwork working first, and then we can build on, like I says. I mean, I think the manager still, like I says, has to probably find his perfect free kick taker, his perfect corner taker. You know what I mean? That's probably a job for him in the summer. You know what I mean? He's going to probably work all that out, maybe even with new signings and stuff like that. As much as Tav is the man sometimes with the free kicks, but it's a good question. Like I says, it comes in for the social media side. That is, I'll say again to you, since you can give your thoughts. It's, have we, for the first time in years, got a team who are all confident on the ball? JM?
Yeah, definitely a team comfortable. I'd say, obviously, we always had the majority of ball, but also more confident of playing the direct passes. I don't think I've seen Lundstrom play as many forward passes as I have done in the last few weeks. You know, he's had a couple of great assists. If you're being honest, Rabbi should score that one he played through. He first couple of minutes, I think it was Campbell we tried to play through. It may have been Matonda again. It was in that area, but also with Lawrence playing in that sort of sitting position or slightly deeper midfield, we've now got midfielders that are breaking the lines. I think in the past we've been relying too much on our defenders to do it, and our sort of midfielders have just been going to stand next to them. So I think, we're playing with more confidence, but we're also passing it forward a lot more.
I agree. Just before I go to yourself, Bridge, like I says, that's us been speaking for about 45 minutes. We're seeing questions coming in the social side, but come in and join us. Come in and give us a call.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That's it. Come on, give us your points. Like I says, don't leave it to the last half hour when we're rushing to get round everybody with your points that you are making. Like I says, there've been a few great callers over the last few nights, and like I says, probably not been able to expand on what they've been asking. So please, like I says, give us a wee phone and we'll take it round the boys and spread your opinion. Bridgeman, just a question that, like I says, it came in for the social media side there. Have we, for the first time in years, got a team who are actually confident on the ball?
Well, we've obviously got a team that's really confident on the ball, in my opinion. I would suggest all through the midfield, they're all confident in the ball. The boys there last night, I thought it brilliant. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. The manager's got to knit it all together. He's got the skills, he's got the qualities. They're listening to the manager, they're taking heed. And it's just fabulous to have a team that can play football and are playing football. It's just wonderful. And some of the game was high tempo, really, really high tempo, on a really sticky pitch. I would say slicky pitch, not sticky, slicky pitch. So the ball was travelling high pace. So no, I think we're playing really good. It's great to see. It's absolutely wonderful to see. Thank you, Rangers. Thank you.
Well said, Bridge. Jay, I'm going to steal another question off Twitter, and they're saying, is Lundstrom, Lawrence and Cantwell our best midfield at the moment in an attacking sense?
I would say a home game in the league, yes. I would 100% say that is our best sort of. I think that gives us the balance. I think Lundstrom can sort of be, if you like, the anchor in that, almost not playing in a vertical line as such, but Lawrence is slightly forward, even though at times, to be honest, Lawrence done really well last night, especially in the first half. He sometimes ended up deeper, just sweeping up and then picking up the passes, but I think there's a good chemistry there, and you've got three blokes that understand each other.
Right. Bridge, you want to add to that about the midfield last night? Like I says, that for me, it's the probably our strongest attacking midfield that I've seen in a long time.
Well, look, I just said it a couple of minutes ago. They're marvellous to watch. Really, really good to watch. But we do have a weakness, and we know we've had a weakness for quite a while. When we're all pressing, and great as it may be, when we're all pressing, sometimes that final wee pass becomes a final wee flick, and flicks aren't our strongest point at times. And some of the passes we're getting, obviously, not all the time, but sometimes the ball was that I can see what they were trying to do, but we could see the defender reading that and just stepping in and picking the ball up, and that caused major problems for us. So these are the kind of things that we need to get the passing more accurate, engage the pitch, and all these things that we would love to see happening, so that you don't make mistakes, don't give away the ball and keep positions. However, seriously, I thought the midfield were excellent, absolutely brilliant, outstanding. Well done, lads.
Right, a big thank you to the techie team, because I've got back to us on the poll that we asked to set up, and actually the techie team themselves added in Lundstrom to that man of the match. So just to give you the percentages, so it was start with lowest, Tavernier, then Dessers, then Lundstrom, and the winner was Cantwell. So Cantwell at 50, I think that was 53% for Cantwell. So
That made me a winner.
I think so, Bridge. I think
It makes you a thief. It makes you a thief.
Thank you very much, Jim. You let me get that.
and also, how does picking the bloke with three assists makes me a loser?
Oh, by the way, JM, you actually bring up a good point. I forgot about that. That it was James Henry Tavernier, as Robert says. Robert must have been bursting at the seams last night. Again, Tavernier's the one that's creating all the goals, isn't it? 3 assists, and the 2 for Dessers. I mean, the 2 passes he done. The ball through for Dessers' first goal, and then obviously the boy for Dessers to header it away. It's pinpoint crossing for him, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he is, but he hasn't been since we've been playing better. Obviously, and the attacks have been more. We've been less reliant on him, which is a good thing. But it's just great to know that when we need him, which we obviously did last night, that he's still there and he's still producing the numbers. So we still need him, and he's doing the business. But he's been quieter in weeks because the attackers have been doing well. But great to see we've still got that option, and we're still producing numbers like that from right back. It's incredible.
Bridge, he's a guy that always divides the support in some senses, but I don't think you'll be able to probably let us know about this, but I don't think there's ever been a captain that's been perfect at Rangers. They've always had their kind of flaws. And last night again, it's Captain Tavernier that's leading the way, leading this charge, and he's led us back as well. He's led this team along with our manager, back to joint top of the league, mate.
Well, I think with Rangers, and most people's mind, if they can remember, most of our captains have been physical people. They're physical among a team, among the players. And so they would run up and raise a fist and shout and ball and so on and so forth, and do the same in the dressing room. So that's the kind of thing. I don't think Tavernier's that type of player, but he's effective nevertheless. Sort of leads by example, shall we say. Like last night, his passes weren't the greatest, and his shots and corners weren't the greatest. My goodness gracious, he came in with 2 or 3 assists that made the difference. Just some great crosses. Back to for a fraction of a second, back to the old Tab as we knew 2 seasons ago. It was putting the ball in for everywhere. Creating goals, creating mayhem. And that's what it was with him last night. I don't blame him in any way, shape. I don't blame any of our players. But I hope when they see, they're surely going to rerun that in their mind anyway, and the manager will take them up on it and see what they did. Each one go through it, analyse it, and show themselves what they did. Because when they're back, stupid things that happen to you. Sometimes you go to kick your ball, and my goodness gracious, you put it sky high. That's what happened to Tab about 3 times last night. Sky high. Instead of a shot at goal, it was going woo into the stand or something. Bolson did it as well twice. So it's nothing much. I'm just happy, but I know I could see some things that the crowd weren't happy with, and the players shouldn't be happy with it as well when they see it.
It was a big night, JM. That's the thing, isn't it? It's about handling that pressure. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the players, the manager touched on it. He's asked the players to try and shut it out, whatever's happening in the stands at times. You know what I mean? But it must be hard. And again, like anything, if you've got 50,000 Rangers fans shouting at you, and you've got that one moment to get the ball clear, and you humph it into the stand. You mean it's inevitable that there's got to be a wee bit of nerves there. I don't think anybody can say that they can go into a football park, especially how important that game was last night. As much as Clement keeps saying that he's just taking a game at a time, that game last night was massive. I mean, if we mucked up last night, across the city would have been having a field day with us today, and our fans would have been saying that that the team were bottle merchants. I mean, I think it was a massive game for the momentum for us last night.
Some of our fans aren't happy and we won the game 3-1. Never mind if we would have. Imagine we dropped a point or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's one. You got to remember. What was it the manager says? Obviously, if you keep if you play with the emotions that the fans have, we won't get where we want to be. You won't get 2 goals, and I think he's spot on, isn't he? But I think, like you say, you got to remember they're all human beings, and especially now in our attacking line, our left back, and that we've got a lot of young men in there as well. And at the moment, they're really proving up to the task, and long may it continue. Just keep their heads, and hopefully the manager and like Bridge brought, I think Tavernier and Golson seem to be them kind of blokes. They're not so much shouters. They're calm, collective men, and they'll be there just sort of to support and bounce off them. So hopefully we've got a nice dynamic there, and we just keep going game by game.
Bridge, I think that is the thing that we need to kind of... And last night, when you look across the team, there is a kind of mixture of youth and the kind of the older team. I mean, you would probably say Dessers is kind of like an older head, Golson, Tav, Butland to a certain extent as well. I mean, Lundstrom. But then, like you says, you look at our wingers and some of our attackers, it's young boys, and they are still learning. And this is maybe where the wee bit of inconsistency creeps in with maybe the finishing and stuff like that. And that's where we just have to have a bit of patience, because these boys will probably grow. It's hard because as a Rangers player, you've got to always hit the ground running, and we're all desperate for silverware. But again, we've got to give them time to settle. And I says even with Cosland, again, I've been probably a critic of him and stuff, but it's hard no back the boy, because we've not got much better coming off the bench to try and challenge for that shot.
But one of our big problems, you can see it yourself if you just give yourself a chance to think. We went the whole of the second half, virtually the whole of the second half, until, I don't know, 1 minute to go or something like that, before we got the third goal. And that's the whole of the second half, playing into the Rangers end. Why? Why is it taking so long? That's a stupid question, probably. Why does it take us so long to score a goal? Amazing when we've got 90% possession. No, I just can't believe it sometimes. That's the kind of thing that was getting said. Why is it? Who knows? Only they can.
I'll give you a quick answer for it, and it'll go to JM, because that goalkeeper and some of their defenders at times were having the game of their life, like clear enough.
Because that goalkeeper set an SPFL record last night. That's why it took so long.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the shots in the second half could have probably been better, but like I say, that I think you touched on it, JM, with Todd Cantwell. I mean, the boy, any other keeper was never getting to that one, the low shot, and then that wee dink. How that keeper was alert to that. I mean, it was only Cantwell that could see that happening, and the bloody keeper was on top of it. You mean it's. I think it was just like it says.
It was that bottom right-hand corner one that I couldn't get that he got to it. The one, because it was perfect. It was perfect, like, it was exactly how he should have finished it. Obviously, it weren't. It could have been, as Clement says, a centimetre to the corner, but it was as good as it can be. And I reckon any other goalkeeper in that league, and even on his day, bear in mind, our own goalkeeper might have struggled to save that. It was a great save.
But you guys know, and the whole world knows probably, they're going to get their next game get absolutely dunked. That's probably what's going to happen. You would think on that form that they showed last night that they wouldn't have any problems with relegations and things like that. They really did play well against us. My God. We know what's going to happen. We just know it.
Bridge, that's because we're the famous Glasgow Rangers. Every team wants to turn up against us, isn't it? I mean, they get themselves in the shot one day and everything against the Glasgow Rangers.
It's the Glasgow Rangers. They bring the best out in people, and the worst, of course. And it's true. It's true, because there was times during the game the guys were getting a bit niggly, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but the amount of wasted time is just incredible. They could have doubled the time. They took off all the wasted time, or shall I say, added it back on again. They'd have been there for till 10 o'clock last night, or more than that, 11 o'clock. Incredible, just incredible.
Thankfully, I mean, he's not the best referee, but at least in the first half, we'll come back to it after the tune, but at least in the first half, the referee had a bit of savvy to actually add on a bit of extra time because of all the time wasting. But we are at that time. That's the first hour done with. Give us a call after the tune. And this is a wee bit of a nostalgia one. So here is the tune.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Welcome back, boys. I hope you enjoyed that wee bit of nostalgia. I wonder how many bears out there had that on LP. And by the way, if you can name all the singers on that record, give us a wee phone. That'd be interesting to see if anybody remembers the singers. I know one for definite off the top of my head. Big Alan McCoy was in amongst that singing away. So if anybody else knows any of the names, put it on the socials or give us a wee phone and let us know. We're all back, boys.
Yes,
Yeah, all back.
Ridge, did you enjoy that wee toe tapper? Did that bring back memories?
I was expecting, what's her name, Kylie Minogue or Or was the other boy's name? Jason Donovan or something like that.
Oh, they were kicking about that time, I think, when that was
The
getting
music,
pumped out.
It's obviously, I don't remember the song at all. I don't remember it from a Rangers perspective. The music, Stock Aitken Water, the music, it's background stuff. Fantastic.
I can just, JM, you might not remember it, mate, but I can just remember the shell suits at the time, Bridge. It was that red, white, and blue Adidas shell. Was it Adidas? Somebody will to correct me on that, but it was either Adidas or some make that was kicking about with them at that time. It was very trendy by the looks of it. Anyway,
trendy.
Back to a wee bit of the social media side. Somebody's actually sent us in, and I honestly, seeing I'm reading it, like this is this has been sent in for the Daily Mail. This is their player ratings of last night, so I'll get both your thoughts on this and see how accurate the paper was. So here we go. Rangers, Butland, a 6. Tavernier, 7.5. Suter, 6.5. Golson, 4.5. Yilmaz 6. Lawrence, 5.5. Wow. Diamande, thankfully never scored him because he only came on at 79th minute. Lundstrom only got a 7. Cantwell, the man of the night, 5.5. Wow. Matondo, 4. Cortez again didn't get a score. Dessers, 7.5. Silver didn't get a score. McCausland, 4.5. Maybe they're reading something there. And Scott Wright, he came on at the 7th minute mark and didn't even get a score. I would have probably given him a 0. Let's compare their scoring.
A for absent for Scott Wright. A for absent.
Aye, definitely. I'll give you just to keep the fun going. Ross County this year, their scores right. So the goalkeeper Wickens gets an 8. Brown 6.5. FT 6. Aya 6. Leak 6.5. Reed 5. Lurie 5. King 5. I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Dianda, is it? 5.5. Murray 6.5. Brophy 6.5. I think they actually, is the tally up, they've gave Ross County a higher score than what they've gave Rangers, and yet Rangers won the game.
Ross County gave you enough a game last night, didn't they? You know what I mean? That's all you can say to these people. So
maybe Bridget, you're onto something. Maybe they've marked it as a boxing match. Maybe they've said that it's how Ross County boxed the years off us last night. Maybe that's what they've done.
Just crazy, pal. For me, just crazy. I'll tell you that now.
You're allowed at their keeper a 9 or a 10, wouldn't you? You'd say that's fair. I think an 8's probably even unfair. I know he conceded 3 goals, but I thought an 8 was unfair. Considering the amount of saves he made.
I can only give him an 8. 10 out of 10 for me, that goalkeeper. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. But then to give Tom Campbell a 5.5. Did they watch the games or did they just go on? Did they just go on stats? And then what was Goldson at what? Because we conceded. I think they had 1 shot on target, and Goldson got a 4.5. Was it a 4.5 for Goldson?
Let me see.
Was it a 4?
4.5? 4.5.
I mean, I know he wasn't maybe brilliant for the goal, but I mean,
it's just nonsense.
The Ross County players conceded 43 shots, and they're getting 6s.
That's mental. And by the way, they've even they gave Lawrence a 5.5. The guy was on the park for 8 odd minutes, and he was bossing it. He was having shots and everything as well.
I mean, Lundstrom wasn't a mark and a half better than him, was he? I mean, where are they getting the marks from? Like, Lawrence was good, Lundstrom was good, but so was Lawrence. And they're also saying that Lundstrom was 1.5 above Cantwell.
Mm-hmm. They're on the wind up. They've got to be.
Well, they've done it. They've achieved it. 10 past 9 tonight. They've got
it. That's why nobody buys their paper anyway, because it's a load of nonsense. Anyway, right, boys, back to the Glasgow Rangers. Right, so we're top of the league. Manager's got us in a right good position now. Next big game's coming, you know what I mean? St Johnston's got to be a tricky game. So where, just on last night, where do we need to tweak the team a wee bit? Because, like I says, these games are going to be thick and fast now. They're going to be so important because, like I says, there's probably no leeway anymore. Where can we tweak the team, JM?
Are we talking specifically for St Johnstone away on this one? How we would change it from last night, say, or just what we're thinking? What's the?
I think you actually made a decent enough point there. But I will go with St Johnstone because again they're quite a similar sticky team, aren't they? So, what would you change from last night going into the weekend?
I'd keep the same back five. I think Redvan's doing enough now to be sort of the main man in there. Suter again's looking okay. Balogun's got to get used to the mask. I'd keep the same back five. I think maybe just for these away games, maybe go a bit more traditional with the two sitters. Now, I don't know if that means Jack's going to be back, as Jack should maybe be available because it was all routine keeping him out, but also. Is what's gone on with Big Sterling with the suspension? Do we know? Because he's been forgotten about in all of this after a couple of good performances.
I think does he not got a double suspension because of because we appealed?
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
So one match becomes two.
So maybe the techies or someone could let us know with Sterling just to find out, because that'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Because for me, the obvious would be for the away game to put Big Sterling back in there next to Lundstrom. And then, oh, you there, Jimmy?
Aye, mate. Aye, when you go.
Yeah. Then, so maybe I put if Sterling's available, I don't think he is. So I'd maybe bring Ryan Jack in, all being well, and he's fit, and it's just a bit like Lawrence that they're sort of swapping them in and out. And then I think I would probably start with the same. I'd start with the same front three again. So my change would be looking at my one change would be in the holding midfield after all that. At the moment, or performance.
Do you know, JM, and as Bridge touched on it kind of with the Ross County game, that maybe Bridge, that Sterling might be that kind of key to help the defence a wee bit with this kind of boy at the top that we keep getting caught out with, especially against these kind of sticky teams.
Yes, Paul, but look at the way they played it. They kept the ball off the ground, and other teams do it. They just lob it, and right on top of the defence. And we can't cope with them all the time, you know. No, we did very well against them, of course, to regain possession and do the things. But that's all teams do against us now. They just lob the ball up and boring crap. They're just boring.
Would you make changes, Bridge? I mean, JM's touched on it that he's making kind of one change in the midfield, but would you just go with the same setup? For me, to be honest, I think maybe Cortez kind of grabs that left side. I think he maybe will get the nod for the start come the weekend.
Well, you know, nobody's going to argue with you. That's how good it is. Nobody's going to argue with you, pal. That's the way I see it anyway. I just think that.
What would you?
When?
So I was going to say, would you go just again? Would you just go with the same team? I'd
keep the same team. Definitely. For me, my thoughts at this present moment is the team that finished the match. I thought were better than the team in the first half. That's what I thought. You know, right. So maybe that's the team I would I'd go with. And the manager might mix it too. So he's himself. He's just learning as well for that matter. You
know? Right, we've been joined by a caller, and I think it is our very own Davy. Oh, Davy, you there?
I'm here, son. How you doing?
Very well. Did you enjoy that wee toe tapper at half time there?
Oh yes, I'll enjoy it. And it's got to give it a Rangers. You've got to enjoy it, haven't you? There was a wee point I was going to ask you earlier on about. See the press conferences that Clement's doing. I think Rangers need to do something about some of whoever's in there at the press conference asking him. I mean, the guy was just immaculate as always. He answers everything. You can tell the snidey ones coming in. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people like I think they should be stopped coming into Ibrox. I don't buy this. I don't buy that Republican record. But there was a big bit in the back page. It says, Phillips Crown slips. What's that? What kind of journalism's that? I just want to have a pop in that every turn. It's not right.
Yep. No, Davey, you make a fine point, because it's something that niggles me out sometimes, especially when Camont's pleasant enough to make it clear that he doesn't want to keep going air the same stuff. Like, especially this whole how important this next game is, or do you know that this game takes you back to the top of the league and stuff like that. That was getting pounded and pounded and pounded. And the guys tell them 100 times, no, I'm just looking at the next game. So it's quite boring for me that some of the journalists just keep repeating the same old nonsense. JM?
Yeah, I would agree with David, and also because he's also, he's football daft, Clement, and you can tell, and he also loves talking about it. So what annoys me more is, I think if some of these guys would ask him an interesting question or a decent question, would get a decent answer as well. I want to hear a bit more what he's going to do, but they ask him that, you're right, Davey, some of it's the same. They're trying to make him slip up for that headline, aren't they? But unfortunately, I think that's just the nature of the beast that is the press. But when you hear him talk, and you hear him talk so much sense, I just wish they'd ask him a few more interesting, insightful questions, which we maybe wouldn't get, because you're going to get a good answer from him, because he just seems to love football.
Yeah.
David, do you know the other question that annoys me as well? They keep asking him, do you think this team's ready to win the title, or do you think this team's got the confidence, or this team's got the character? I mean, they're just desperate for him to confirm it so that they can put it on my wall and say, oh, Rangers are going to win the title, or Camont says he's going to win the title. That's the thing. The man's never once turned around and said that he's going to win a title. He says we'll wait to the end of the season and we'll see what we win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was one question. The guy says, are you disappointed you're not top of the league? It's top of the league.
I know.
You know where that's coming from. I mean, these people should be weeded out.
I think, by the way, they've all they're letting a lot of the fan media in now as well. And by the way, some of their questions are not great either. But Bridgeman, I'll pass the question to you, mate. You're a press expert. Do you feel the same as old Davey?
I do, actually. I agree 100%. I've said it, and you'll see it in my text if you ever you watch Jen on it. I am adamant. Should never allow anybody other than Rangers people into the press conferences. They just take everything. Somebody asks a question, and just as you said there, they'll turn it around. They'll do whatever they want to do and say the way they want to say it to make Rangers look stupid. Or not just Rangers. Well, Rangers, but particularly Philippe Clement. All this is about trying to undermine him. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to undermine the guy. For anybody to put on the paper what Davey said there is just utterly incredible. Utterly incredible. Brown slips. What's that supposed to mean? Never mind. Carry on, guys.
Well said, Bridge. Well said, mate.
I'll tell you now, I'm ranting now. I can't be bothered with them. We've been fighting with the BBC. They turned their back on Rangers, and they stayed away from us for 5 years.
There we go.
Years. Now they can't wait to get back in. And what did they do? They asked for the crap quit. No.
Bridge, we need you down there with the placard, man. We need to get you sorted. In fact, I heard a wee while ago that Rangers Radio could get a wee press pass at some point. So you may never know. We'll send you up there to get them sorted out, mate. And we'll send up old Davey as well.
Davey, see when I see a headline, I don't buy that paper. Never have, because it's full of bull. And when I get into the supermarkets and I turn the back page there, and if it's anything anti-Rangers, I just put another paper and tatter them.
Brilliant, mate. By the way, it shows you the desperation. That's the thing, though. The desperation to try to create silly headlines. That's how poor that their world's crumbling, Davey. Give that another couple of years, you'll not see a paper ever again, probably. Davey, the game last night, mate. How proud are you of the team? How they've turned this around and managed to get us into a position where, like it says, it's all systems go now. It's time to push on and grab this title.
Well, when you were sort of dissecting it earlier, they brought up the point where they equalised, and I think it was like another million Rangers applause. I couldn't believe my eyes that they had scored, and it's very repetitious. The goal against Aberdeen, except the Aberdeen one's further down the middle. But Golson needs to get his act together. To see that right, he can't tackle anybody that comes to his right hand side. But I mean, I got the feeling of it. Right on half time, we're going to struggle. But we didn't. As you were talking about it earlier, before that, we would have probably went into our wee shell, and then we got that one just before half time, and I said, right, bring it on. And after that, it was us against the goalie, wasn't it?
Aye, it was, wasn't it? I agree with Davey, and we've touched on it. I think time's gone by when we went to that 1-1. Unfortunately, if it was that previous manager, I think the game would have either been seen out as a draw or a defeat, probably. And like I says, we wouldn't even be anywhere near what we are now at joint top of the league.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, isn't it? I mean, I think Davey makes a good point about the goal, and I just think sometimes we have to be a little bit, cautious about how we criticise our defence, just because we haven't conceded a lot of goals all season, have we? That'd be my only thing. I know we don't look at it as bad when we concede them, but we haven't conceded a lot of goals all season. So I just want to be careful about when we say about we conceding goals. We don't concede a lot. Does Davey think? I've got a theory. I think Golson actually, because Davey brought up the goal, I think Golson lets the boy cross it in, because I don't think he thinks there's going to be anyone getting on the end of it. I just want to know what Davey thinks on that. Or does he think the boy beats to it? Because I think he thinks no one's going to get on the end of it, so I'll let Butland and maybe Suter deal with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure, which obviously was a mistake. But I don't know, I think he's been caught out. Yeah,
I'm not pinpointing him as the only one. I mean, I think we had nearly 4 players against their 2, and that worried me. But my point I'm making is, previously, when that would have happened, our heads would slightly go down, or even further down. And he's got them in a mindset now that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Aye.
Because they've got confidence that we'll do it, and he's proven his point.
Davey, he's a man of his word. And another person that's a man of his word has joined us. Stevie, how you doing?
Boys, yourselves, how you doing?
Over the moon.
Did somebody say press pass?
There's a buffet.
Oh man.
I'll tell you, by the way. Bridge man, how are you? Do you know who I would love to see getting that press pass? Albert. I'll tell you, he wouldn't take any prisoners. Him and Bridge. Bridge knows how to deal with a press. He knows what they've been up to, the BBC and all the journalists. Just to say, the propaganda has always been against Rangers. And we know as Rangers fans what they're all about, and we'll never get sucked in. The bottom line for me, they're making it out as if we're panicking. It's them that's panicking, man. It's them. It's wee Brenda. When you hear Brenda saying stuff like, there's no panic at our side, we'll just pick it up and go on. See the very fact that he's talking about it, they're panicking. They're panicking, mate. They're a couple of results away from sharp fences flying about again. So we just keep our heads down, put our trust in Big Phil. We'll do all right. Now, I'm going to say this one more time, and I hope the bells out there are listening, because I was listening to some pods, and you want to hear some of the absolute crap that coming out people's mouths. Now, since Big Phil's come in, he's lost one game. He's got us into the last 32 or it? The last round of 32.
16.
Yep.
Half the playoffs.
Last 16, pal. Last 16.
Oh, so it's even better again, lads. So there you go. So we're in the last 16. Oh, sorry, I'm watching the last round of 32. That's what it is. So the bottom line, we're in the last 16. We'll win a League Cup. We moaned about, we need to start winning cups and catching up and all the rest of it. We're winning cups. He's got a team that was on its knees. He took on a team that was on its knees. They couldn't keep hands out of midden. They couldn't pass balls. They had no confidence, nothing. Look at them now. Look at the players that's got a lot better under Philip Clement. Nearly every one of them. He's got them thinking like a team, playing like a team. And he's clawed back 7 points, plus all the goals that you could possibly amount to another point, if you wanted to put it that way. So say 8 points. And there's still people out there making it easy for the press that we all know use propaganda against our club. They're making it easy to slaughter the Bears. I'm telling you the new, sometimes we're worrying worst enemy, boys. But guys like Albert, guys like Bridge, that's a wiser heat. You need to start listening. They know, they've been there, they've been through the full journey. No, they talk about Big Phil's book. These guys are cyclopedias. They've been through the A to Z. You need to start listening to them. Just get behind the team and don't listen to any outside influences. That's the bottom line, boys. Okay, what do you think of that? Take that round the panel.
Stevie, just before we do take it round panel, that's what we're making the point earlier. Like, I was touching on Alex McLeish's 2 title wins and then Smith's last one. I mean, there was heavy losses there. We lost like 5 games free and we lost 3 as well.
Yep,
I mean, it wasn't a perfect. They weren't the perfect seasons, but I didn't see any of the fans moaning and groaning. They stuck with the team, and this is where, we've maybe been away for it a wee while, but this generation of fans now, we need to kind of turn the screw a bit, JM, don't we? And we need to push on. And Stevie says we need to back this team now because they're going to need us to get them over the line.
100%. I mean, we, like Big Phil said, we were centimetres away from another goal and then being top of the league outright. And also, all that means last night, that means every weekend now, we've got the right to go ahead. If we win our game by enough goals, we go top of the league. So that's all I'm looking at it. Every weekend now, we're joint top. We've got an opportunity to go top on our own right. And there's no reason why this big man and all the players can't do it.
Reg, you want to add to that?
Whatever Big Stevie said there, telling the truth. We need to watch out for what all these naysayers say, and we just want to keep our hearts going and keep supporting our team because that's all we are. We're Bears. End of the day, and we just want to see our team doing well. No, we actually insist that our team does well. That's what we're looking for. So, no, as far as I'm going, I'd ignore everybody. I'd ignore everybody. When they pay my license or the BBC, I would do everything I could to get the BBC shut down. That's what I'd do.
Right, Davey.
Well, I said it just before Big Stevie came on about it all, but I mean, they know we are getting right under their skin. Well, maybe getting under something. I don't think they've got skin because they smell that much. But the problem is, no, it's right, they don't wash themselves. They're bogging. Big Stevie says, we'll be getting a gas mask suit. But we know we're getting under their skin, or whatever you want to call it. When they're starting digging up 12 years ago, and they said coke garbage and all that, then you know you're rattling their cage again. I love
that. Stevie, what it says, the turnaround that we've had, I mean, the momentum's ways, mate. You've banged the drum, you've said back Dessers and everything, and the big man's showing it. He's scoring the goals. Aye, he's not the finished article yet, but again, near most of the players in the team, we've just got to keep backing them, and as we're seeing week after week, mate, everybody's improving.
Well, listen, tell me new in Scotland is, I wouldn't say there's an absolute stick-out centre forward. They've got the wee guy, but he's done nothing. He's done nothing this season. You're talking about Miovski or Shankland. Let's be honest. Is any of the two of them any better than what we've got to know? I mean that. I'm going to say it, and I'm honestly mean it when I say it. It's a lot harder to get him. It's a lot harder.
On form, definitely not.
Sorry.
What you saying? Giant.
Just saying, on form, definitely not. There's no difference in them. It's just easy. The Slaters, that little one they've got up front at the moment, the only time he seems to score a goal is against us. He doesn't. You never see him on the score sheet for them. He doesn't. That's the only time he scores a goal. And then the other two, Des is just chipping in. He's, it was easy to jump on the bandwagon because no one was playing well at the start of the season and he wasn't helping. But he's doing absolutely fine for us at the moment. We can just let them carry on talking about him.
That's my whole point. What we're talking about the bridge and all day. You need to listen to why we made it easy for the press. We made it easy for the press and the other mob to jump on our big deserts because we were doing it ourselves. Instead of keeping things in-house, we were coming onto platforms and slaughtering them. Rightly so, right? They're due criticism, but there's a thin line. And we were making it easy for the press, the Daily Republican, to come on and go into our pods and slaughter the big man. Now, listen, I said that weeks and weeks ago, as JB said there, the deserts, we've seen the worst of him now, boys. He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. Get behind him and he'll get better quicker. That's my point. There's no sense in crying about spilled milk. Oh, we should have bought Shankland. I mean, there's a caller comes onto this show all the time. He told us, no, I know somebody, it's happening, it's 100% happening. It never happened. It never happened. We've just got to take it and go on with it.
I've got Steve, I've been joined by another caller, mate. James from Tennessee, how we doing, mate?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, mate, I can hear you now, mate.
James, how are you, mate?
Fine, good, yeah, I'm doing really good. Just a few points I want to make. Right. I would even get Goldson to take corners or anyone to take corners. Switch all the corners, people that take corners. Number one, take short corners, take corners that the guy can volley into the net or low into the net. Like they actually told us what to do. Remember the one the guy nearly scored? Right, 18-yard box, hit it low, he hits it. And we get players that at the edge of the box, they can hit the ball like Lundstrom, whoever. And the players, the centre forwards, don't bunch up together. Let them spray around, even take runs from the 18-yard box to make a run from there. How many headers we see guys running in and smashing the ball with their head? It's always standing positions we do. So we vary the corners. And Matondo made a big mistake when Dessers was shouting at him. How did he not join Dessers? And Dessers could have slipped the ball to Matondo and he scored. He's lazy, that guy, sometimes. But anyway, I wouldn't bother about the Daily, is it the Sunday Mail, or the Record and all that. We should just concentrate. I don't even listen to any other podcasts now. Nothing at all now. So what do you think of these points?
Right, I'll start with. I was going to say, Steve, I'll come to you first, mate. On you go.
Well, James, listen, I banged on it. I was one of the guys that kind of raised the kind of point about the corners because I go week in, week out, mate, and the number of corners we get, and we don't really threaten for them either. It's either hit too long or it doesn't get by the first man, and then when you do get a ball in the melting pot, there's nobody attacking it. We was well taking short corner kicks. And I brought that up a few weeks ago, but I'm not going to go OTT with it. All I'm saying is the team's playing a lot better for Beale. We've picked up on a lot of things, and I just think that's one of the things where I think we lack a wee bit of imagination. And I wish we tidied it up a wee bit, So that was just a wee concern that I had weeks ago, but a lot of people have tippled on it themselves. But I wouldn't be making a big thing about it, because the team is playing well, you know. But I mean, when you get 13 or 14 corners in one game, and you're not at least making the keeper work in any of them, it's not really good watching. But at the end of the day, it's points over performance, you know. When you're in this battle now, it's points over performance. So, listen, you raise a couple of good points, James, as you always do, because you're one of my favourites in the Big Smoke. But the bottom line is that the young team will tell you the truth. I'm just your pal, you know what I mean?
JM, I think what as we touched on earlier is that Clement's not going to be able to fix everything all in one go. He's only in the, I mean, that's what they're saying in the press. It's 4 months. I mean, he's asked the fans, if you look at the difference in then and now, I mean, we'd all be happy, and we are. We're all at the moon. It's we know where we need to improve, and this manager will, but it might not happen before the end of the season. We might have to put up with these moments. It might be the summer, like I says, when he's getting a chance at a full pre-season with him. You know what I mean? But as it stands now, as long as we keep winning, that's the most important thing.
No, exactly. Stevie said it there. Exactly. This stage of the season is all about winning. Exactly. And James is spot on, by the way. We're allowed to also critique slightly without being negative. Everyone can see ways in which we can improve, whatever. And James isn't coming on and saying this in a negative way at all, is he? The fact is, we had a lot of corners last night. And to be honest, we could have mixed it up. We could have done a bit better. It just wasn't one of them. It didn't work, did it? So maybe, hopefully, the big man's looking at it and thinking, you know what, we can mix it up a little bit. But 100%, the corners could have been improved on. But as long as we keep winning and we're not ruining them chances, we'll keep going. But no, I agree with Big James that, you know, the corners, we could do a bit more on them.
Davey, the way the team has improved, it's like I says, there's no stone unturned with this manager. Like I says, if he's seen something, he will be on it. It's just maybe he's not got the time to focus on it too much because the games keep coming thick and fast.
Yeah, you're spot on. But I mean, when you're talking about the quality of the ball and what James is saying, I'd be more concerned if we weren't getting corners. That'd be a bigger worry than what we do with them.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In some games we were only getting 2 or 3 corners. We got about 150 last night. So you've got to keep porting them in. You can vary a bit, you can change it a bit. Doesn't guarantee you're going to have a better get any better. You've got 10 men plus a goalie on the 6-yard line. It's very difficult to break that down, and we did eventually. Because I think they just ran out. Well, they hadn't much left in their tank.
Aye. Bridge, again. Just 2 minutes, let Bridge come in with your point, James, and then we'll come back to you, all right?
Yeah.
Bridge?
Well, you know, James for Tennessee is a smashing speaker about football and Rangers in general. And him and Big Stevie seem to sort of hit it off, and they talk wonderful sense. But I'm not 100% sure about the short corners. Not all the time anyway. But we do, if we've not got somebody that can get up and rise above these big 6'5" or 6'4" centre halves that our teams have got, then there's no point in putting a high ball into the middle. You're not going to cause major problems for us unless they make complete blunders of it. But we obviously need to do something round about the box, and I agree with the first point that said, but I don't care who it is, but go out there and take the corner quickly. Get ready for people. All last night's game, they were meandering. It was Ridvan was just walking across like 40 yards, walking. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Get moving, for God's sake, you know. Anyway, we should be ready to take that corner kick immediately. Somebody should be. I don't care who it is. Mm-hmm. I don't think we should be swapping the left back and right back and all that nonsense. Anybody in our team can take a corner kick, and if you can then start to use tactics. And if you're going to do tactical stuff, then you can do short corners to feet, so on and so forth. And we never seem to do that. Not very often. And we should be doing it. We should vary it a wee bit, because you saw it last night, James. I don't know, it was 16 corners or something like that. I don't think a Rangers player hit one of them. Well, hit him. Never mind it. I mean, well, so for
Apart
me,
from big shooter banging it away.
big shooter, yeah, of course. Apart from that, but that's 1 in 90 minutes. That's somebody got headed to a corner.
James, I hope that helps answer the question a wee bit, mate.
Just one more point. One thing I'm pleased at is they're now shooting on sight, and that was the difference. Okay, the shots, but that's how to play, shoot on sight, and they're getting a lot of shots, and we will score goals. But just another wee point. The World Cup's coming to America 2026. If anybody needs advice on if they want to come over, Nashville, Atlanta, and places like that, even Mexico, I've been there a couple of times myself, just fire me a message, and because it'll be really a great tournament. Hopefully Scotland will get there, but it'll be really good.
Oh, thanks for that. I'm sure Stevie will take you up. I was going to say, I'm sure Stevie will take you up on that offer.
Yes. But James, I'm just thinking, me, you, in that stadium, Rangers talks on, you playing the guitar and you playing the flute. I think we could raise a few quid.
We'll go downtown Nashville, by the way, and do it. We'll make some money.
Brilliant. Well, listen, boys, I'm going to call it a night because I'm up early in the morning, right? But listen, boys, we're going to win this league. Just stick together, link arms, dig your heels in, and just get behind the team, man. That's all we've got to do. Big Phil's got everything took care of at the other end. Just we go and make as much singing and much dance we can do to back them, and stay away from these papers and all these other pods. If there are no Rangers pods, don't get ill. There are plenty of Rangers platforms out there. This is the only one free. He's not a drill. So there's plenty of other ones out there. Go to them. Don't get near these Radio Snide and all these places that twist your words, and they're all Celtic orientated. You know, like they are. So anyway, just get behind the troops. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, James, with Nashville. Okay, just stick with the boys.
Yeah, sure.
Well said, Stevie.
I'm going to go as well, but all the best, guys, and just say bye to young Davy. I know you take a lot of stick, but you keep at it. I'll call you young Davy because they're just discrimination.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to hear you, James. My cousin stays in Nashville.
Does he?
Yeah, we were there 2 years ago when they took us through to Memphis.
Oh, right.
To see Elvis's joint, but he wasn't there, he was dead. But no, that's twist. That was just a daft joke. No, we did. We've got home to go sometime this year to stay just in the outskirts of Nashville, James. But it's a pleasure always talking to you.
Yeah, okay, young Davy. Take care. And don't take the stick from them. I always have respect for you. They'll go one day, and you might outlast them, by the way, in this life. Okay, bye, guys. Take care.
Cheers, James.
Bye.
Pleasure, mate. Right.
Bye.
Boys, before I get back to the points, it's getting to the last 15. So that says if you want to join us, give us a call.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Davey, you're a man that watches Rangers very closely. I want to know, since Clement's came in, who's your most improved player?
Oh, that's very difficult, that one. I would basically say them all. I know that sounds, I know that doesn't sound right, but I would say them all because they're all turned up where they weren't before. You were getting an odd cameo for one or two of them, but they're playing as a team now, and they've got the light above them who's saying, "There it's there. If you want it, go and get it, guys, because you've got it. It's in your hands now. Go and get it." But to pick somebody, I couldn't really. I would be injustice to pick a particular person.
Right, okay, I'll go round the boys and we'll see if I can get a more off the fence answer. Bridgeman, most improved player since Clements came in?
I would say Lundstrom.
Oh, good choice, aye. Can you expand on that?
Well, he seemed to fall away a wee bit and let himself go, maybe. Obviously, there was a bit of discord between the previous manager and some players, and it was affecting some. But since Clements came on the scene, to me, a huge difference in Lundstrom. You could see, some folk have got Lundstrom man of the match every game. He's playing that well, and his effect is great. But the manager's now moving around and trying other people, different positions, and he's going to have to come up with his own team. And Lundstrom will probably be number one. I think he's the most improved player at Ibers.
Good choice, Bridge. JM, your pick, mate?
He's brought a couple of gems out. Ridvan's been given a run of games, but I don't think it's fair to say most improved because Ridvan wasn't really given a chance. Obviously, putting Big Sterling in the midfield was a masterstroke, but again, wasn't given a chance. So for me, my most improved, I think, from where he's been at, obviously last season at the end, he was maybe our star man, but from where he was at the beginning, I think Campbell might be the most improved throughout the season. He's now in some form. Whereas he was off it and not even getting started, and a bit of man management from Clement, whipping him off a couple of times, just proving him. I think maybe Campbell's been maybe his most impressive, the work he's done on him.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a bit of the Davey. I think Cantwell's a bit of the comeback kid a wee bit, because even at the start of the season, Beale had him on the bench at that game at Kilmarnock, and there seemed to be something going on then. And then obviously Clement comes in, and you're seeing him getting whipped off, and you're seeing him, Clement saying in press conferences, he wasn't doing what I instructed him today and all that. And you're just thinking, oh, well, the rating's on the wall for Cantwell, which, to be honest, at the time, Davey, I was a bit annoyed because I'm like, this boy's got talent. Why are we trying to push a boy out the door? But thankfully, the two of them have got a good understanding now, and I think Clement's getting the best of them now.
Yeah, that was a great point you made. Here's one for you guys. Who do you think's the most improved player? And I bet you I know what the answer is going to be.
Well, I'll go around Bridge because I'm interested. I think me and David are on the same wavelength here. Bridge, who do you think the answer is?
Oh, for goodness sake, most improved, and you mean most non-improved players?
Non-improved, aye.
Non-improved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who can we say? Who could we say?
Bridge, you're not watching my WhatsApp messages, mate.
Ryan Jack or somebody like that.
I think Bridget. They might be hinting at a certain man. Everyone was disappointed was being brought onto the pitch last night.
Tell me who it is. I'm sorry, my mind's gone.
I'm Mr. Positive tonight. I'm not saying it.
Right, David, you can be Mr. Negative. On you go, fire away.
I think it's Jack Butland.
Right, since I've been the one that shouts about him all the time, it's Scott, right, Davey? Definitely.
I forgot about him. There you go.
Oh God, it's a nice music, man. I hate to bring somebody, a Rangers player, into that category. You don't want to go there, but. The minute I heard who the subs was, and I always do when he does this, I just go, oh no. And I must be one of 50,000 and go, oh no. But that's where they are,
Davey, he always brings them on. He always plays them.
Yeah, I know.
Always getting a game. I don't know what it is,
Yeah, you're right there.
Jay, I think that's the area that he'll probably focus on mostly come the summer. Do you think that's because I've honestly thought when we brought Cortez in that because he was linked as a right winger, I was thinking, oh well, that's us. We're sorted out the right side. It's got to be McCausland and Cortez. But it seems to be every time Cordes coming on, we're firing him on the left, which the manager came out and said that that's his preferred position. So I'm tearing my hair out because I'm like, well, I'm going to be saying Mary Scott Wright.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? I think he's almost getting a game by default because you definitely need to get. It's not fair on McCausland either. He's probably playing more minutes than anyone would have imagined. He's, trying hard. Maybe he's fallen out of it a little bit. If you're being completely and totally honest, he's doing his best. Some great defending yesterday, tracking back or whatever. But at times he just looks maybe a little bit leggy and he's not used to that much competitive football at that level. So I think he's playing by default but we need to get somebody else who can play that right-hand side because, the manager clearly likes to rotate it and young Ross needs a rest at times like everybody else as well.
I agree. David, one thing I noticed last night as well, and it's all about leading by example, and see our manager, how he's on that touchline, he's telling, he's directing, and he's even picking up yellow cards. We've not had that in a long time. A manager basically giving it to the refs, telling them that they're in the wrong. You know what I mean? So long may that continue, Davey.
Aye, he's got the bug. It's like this show. Once you're on it, you want to get back on it, and he's riding the range with us, and that tells you a million things. When we're talking about the most, I never really got into the most improved, but I think big, what do you call him, the boy gets suspended.
Stirling?
Aye, Stirling. I think he's come on a ton.
Aye, great shout. Bridge, again, he's a player right up your street. Big Stirling, physical, pacey, can win a ball, can pass a ball. Again, I hope to see him back in the team soon enough.
Yeah, I think we all do, because he's showed a lot of form and a lot of promise. Obviously, when you go out a bit of form and the manager maybe change you around to get to rest you, a lot of youngsters actually don't want rested. I know when I was playing football, at any level, you just didn't want to. You wanted to be playing, and you don't want to be subbed. You want to be playing 90 minutes. That's your job. You feel it anyway, So very difficult for players to do well, get told they're doing great. You're a star coming up, and all of a sudden they're not getting a game or they're subbed and something. Then he comes in and you could see the last time he caught the boy's foot and he got a red card eventually. Not that I agreed it was a red card, but things happen. That's what referees do. Is.
Jim, mate, you want to come in? I think you're doing a bridge.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I was doing. I lost my train of. I lost my train of thought there as well a bit. Sorry, sorry, say that again.
We're talking about big. I knew you've lost my train of thought.
No, big Sterling. No, it's Big Sterling now. Sorry, I've just had myself all built up for a minute. But yeah, it's a masterstroke for the manager. I said it earlier, didn't I? And it's good, whatever. And obviously, it's going to be in certain times because let's be honest, he's doing a job, but. If we've got a fully fit squad, we don't want to see him playing at home to the likes of Ross County or whatever. But as soon as this last 16 of Europe comes, he's going to go to be the first man in the team sheet for me. Obviously, apart from the obvious with Butland, Tab and Goldson, he's going to be right in the team. So he's definitely going to play his part in the rest of the season. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm telling you, there's a gem there in that player with his pace and power.
Great, mate. Davey, obviously St Johnstone at the weekend. Would you just go with the same old? Would you make any changes, mate?
No, well, you don't know what the manager's got in his mind. I thought when we played the Ayr Seed, we were talking about the Ayr United game, and I think he made 7, and I felt the rhythm of the team was taken out a wee bit. We were all right. We were dancing out of them in the first 5 minutes, but with something, I think with too many changes, so I don't think St Johnstone, apart from if there's any injuries, I think he needs to start with his strongest and bring on what he done last night.
Bridge, would you be surprised if he goes with the Lawrence, Lundstrom and Cantwell again in the midfield for a game against St Johnstone?
Well, I think he's got to. I believe he's got to. He realises, how can you say it? But now at the end of the season, every single game is the biggest game of the season. The manager's no silly. He's got himself into a really good position. Last thing we need is to drop points in a stupid place like something like put up in Perth. I think he needs to go with his strongest team. But of course, I'll say it again. He doesn't listen to me. He's listening to himself. He's going to pick the team that he wants to see, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing we can say about that or do, and we want to love him and support him all the way through it. Me personally, I would go with the best team he could pick, and go out there and win. Go and win. Just go and win the games. That's all that matters. 3 points every game.
Jim, I think at the weekend again, it was probably going to be one of the games that he knows that we're going to have a lot of possession. So I think he'll go with the same 3 again, as long as Lawrence has came through that game all right. Because I think the way it's been running, he doesn't. I don't think he likes Lawrence playing 2 games in quick succession.
Yeah, I think
so.
it might just be. I've got a feeling it might just be a bit soon again for Lawrence. I think it might be on the bench. You might see him get half an hour, 20. I just think he's been quite adamant, hasn't he, with Ryan, Jack and Lawrence. He's not going to rush him back. And the rotation, we've got Jack to come back fit. I mean, Raskin on the bench yesterday and then got on the pitch.
Sorry, mate, on you go.
No, I was just saying, yeah. So I know he's been carrying a knock and obviously been getting a little bit of stick as well. So it'd be interesting. He might bring him back in for that game, the holding game away game. He played him Raskin away at St Mirren. Maybe he fancies him for that. I don't think Lawrence will play. So I think it's a case of, in my opinion, it's Jack or Raskin to go into there.
Davey, you want to add to that, mate?
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent, but I mean, I think that man picks his team with his horses for courses, and he'll know who he wants to rest and who's needing rest. You hear that in his conversation, if he's needing it, he's been playing just what Jim is saying. He's maybe felt a bit that pace of the last couple of games. So, but we've got the cover now. That's a great thing. We've got this mix and match now. And I think Clement have done his homework. I think that guy's meticulous. And I think he just does his homework and all that. So he'll know who's wanting to play against who and where they want to play them. So I don't have any... I'm just saying, get your strongest team out and get the game sort of more or less done and dusted.
Aye, Bridge, let's not do what we've done the kind of past couple of league games is... we get the goal and then we give the team a wee goal back just to give them a wee bit of belief again. I mean, let's get the first goal, Bridge, and go and dominate that first half. Oh, I think Bridge is on.
No, I'm here.
He's back.
I think 100% what you're saying. We can't afford. I need to say this along with just similar to what you're saying. We can't afford now to give players, these other teams, these chances. We couldn't afford to let them score a goal against us on Wednesday night, but they did. And it actually floored our team for quite a couple, maybe 5 minutes. It floored them. And they didn't know what to do. And that's what happens. You're all keyed up. You're going to go out there and you're going to leather this team and score 10 goals or whatever. And all of a sudden they're level. Ow, sore. So we need to learn the hard way. Get it sorted. Don't give these stupid possession away. If a team comes and scores a great goal against us, then there's nothing we can do about it. And all we need to do is hold our hands up and say that was a great goal. Well, they scored a great goal against us. There you go. Simple as that. And we caused it.
Well said. Davey, final thoughts, just quickly, mate. That's us finishing up.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Somebody's going to cop a right doing of us. And it could be this weekend. It's going to come. Because these chances are going to start to, they'll start to take them. And I think it could be the weekend, hopefully, anyway. So anyway, it's been a pleasure, guys. Always speaking to you all. You all stay safe and God bless the Rangers and good night, guys.
Cheers, Davey. Thanks for contributing tonight, mate. Amazing. Giant final thoughts, bud?
Yeah, great show tonight. Great to be back on with yourself and Bridge. Positive after a positive result yesterday. And thanks to all the callers, some great calls, and looking forward to the weekend.
Well said, mate. Bridgeman, final thoughts?
Well, what can I say? Super night. Well done, guys, and well done to your techie team in the background, Foxy and Terry. Magic stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Absolutely great stuff. And of course, the GM, super stuff. Really loved it. Good night. Good people. Can I say to all the Rangers fans all over the world that are listening in here, please listen to what I'm saying. We are the people, and we need you to support us. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers are the team. Keep it going.
Well said, Bridge. Big thanks to the callers tonight, Davey, Stevie and James. Big thanks to the boys in the background, the techie team doing all the polls. Big thanks to everybody in social media contributing as well. And a big thanks to the boys on the panel, JM and Bridge. Done brilliant tonight, lads. Thank you. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night talking about all things Glasgow Rangers. Good night.